Hi there. Happy Soul Sips on Sunday. Today I'm not drinking coffee again. I'm certainly pushing the envelope for how I'm fueling my body. And today, actually, I've drank most of it, but I wanted to show you. I've got turmeric and ginger in there, and I chop that up. Sometimes I put them in a juicer, and then other times I just keep them in my water all day, and I just keep refilling my water. They help with detoxing the body, and sometimes if I can, I chew on them to ingest them in my body as well. I've talked a little bit about this. I'm on this quest, and I've been on it for probably 5 or 6 years, of what great health looks like. And I guess being in the fitness industry for so long, I thought I was always talking about great health and what that looks like and physically what that looks like. And there was always the mental component, but I don't think I really understood it. And as we age and your body gets sore, I don't know, I've just been in an interesting place to kind of go, how much of this do I have control over? How much am I eating on a regular basis of the same foods, and do I need to be? Why do I have sugar cravings? You know, like in all these different things, why do I eat meat? And what meats do I eat? And how can I get other sources of protein? Which actually last week you learned a little bit about my week of going vegan, which was a wonderful experience. Difficult to do on your own, I'm not going to lie. However, like with anything, I just take little bits and I kind of go, okay, well, I could do that. Like ginger and turmeric, I can chop that up and throw it in my water. And it's just these little baby steps that I've continued to keep taking. Why I'm saying that is on our website, we have soulsisternation.com. And one of the tips, videos, different things, sections that we have is about me finding my greatest health at 50. So if you're curious about it, take a look at it. What I'm also doing is I'm creating segments on my experiences in life. And one of my segments is the lessons that a soul sister learned wrapped in sandpaper through her divorce. And so I've got all these different experiences and tips, and again, I tell these stories. I don't tell them to just necessarily to hear my voice. I tell them because I feel like I've lived them, and when I was living them, I felt I was in hiding, like nobody to really talk to. I had a couple girlfriends, but if you're not going through it, it's hard to understand. And sometimes those videos and audios that I would listen to on my own, they gave me little nuggets to help me out, or even counseling. I did various components of counseling, and they helped me. But I just kind of hope that my stories will help mirror your experiences, even if they're just little nuggets, that they just kind of move you along a little bit more, because life is friggin' hard. A divorce? Well, I don't even know where it goes on that end of being difficult. It is, it's tough. It's tough on the parents, and it's so tough on those kids. So when I was going through this kind of list and this idea that will be on the website for you to take a look at, my thoughts, my learnings, my lessons wrapped in sandpaper, my biggest one came to me, and I said, oh, this is like a Soul Sips on Sunday. And my biggest one was about my kids. And this is where I absolutely failed. And as I say that, I will tell you that with my experiences so far to date, I could really fuck up. And I look at that and I just go, oh my God, I behaved that way. I said that. I did that, whatever. I don't regret things. I really don't. I will apologize. I have no problems doing that, but I don't regret them. I don't regret these failures, because I was doing the best I could, and I really believe that you do the best you could. You learn and you move on. You take what you want with it, and you leave the others. You just leave them. It's not the lesson. Thank you. Done and gone. So my experiences as two divorced parents coming together to raise children, we did not do that well. We didn't. And one of the areas that really kind of scream at me is that we went to a wonderful counselor. And however, her advice to the parents were that children are resilient. And yes, they are. I agree. Children are resilient. You're resilient. I'm resilient. But children also want their parents to be happy. And they know when you're faking it. We are not good liars to them. They might agree, but they know. They know us so well. So as far as we went, there were different decisions that were made that the attitude was the kids are resilient. They can just like hop on and come and go on this path or that path. And in my mind, there were things that occurred in the past 10 years that absolutely hurt our children, absolutely hurt them. And we did not do it well. However, at the time, we did the best we could for where we felt were the best decisions made. But that's why I'm writing this, and that's why I'm talking about it, because I don't think that we did it well, and I certainly don't think I did it well. And so what I wanted to share with you today were what I experienced and what I might be able to give to you as perhaps a mirror or perhaps a suggestion. Number one, I did not let go very well. I did not let go of my marriage, of my family, of my vision, of my belief, of my expectation of what I thought my life was going to be and who and how and what it was going to evolve to be. Did not let go. Now, here's a very interesting thing. It wasn't until later that I actually kind of let that settle down. And I knew well before that this was where my life was going, and it was a good thing. But it wasn't until I let go of that thought, those beliefs, those expectations, which I felt at that time they were huge. It wasn't until I just let go of it all. And I had to go really quiet and go really inward and really just block out a lot of people to kind of come to that settling for myself, to allow myself to let go of my marriage and allow this wonderful life that has evolved from it. But in the same breath, I don't think I could have gotten here without understanding what I had to go through to let go of this. But in hindsight, if I had it and I could, I would have let go sooner. And I also felt in that process of letting go that because I had birthed these children and I had taken care of them forever, I felt I knew best. And so therefore I would control them and I would control him and I would control the situation. And I just I felt I needed to have a thumb on everything, and I didn't. And the control was connected to my fear, and I took those children so literally that I took responsibility for those children, and then underneath all of that was guilt, right? I felt so guilty that I had done this to my children. But probably the biggest hurt that I was doing to my children was not letting go and not letting life evolve to an easier place. Because you know this, I know this, when we're in a relationship and there's arguing going on and there's not some resolution happening and there's tension, it's not helping those children. So to be apart and to be happy and celebrating life and celebrating these children, that's the best place for them, and they know that. So allowing them to see your happiness and you live it, then it steps into this other thing, right? of finding that, I don't want to say happiness because that kind of bugs me a bit. It's more of an ease. How to find that ease, how to lose that pit in your stomach, that pit in my stomach that hung out there for years because I was so fearful. And I was so uncomfortable, but it wasn't that good kind of uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable, like, how am I going to do this? And what is this going to look like? And my mind played such a strong role in the stories that I would tell it. And I just didn't let it be. So if I might give you a couple of my tools, number one was meditation. I created a space in my house that was just mine. And I used to call it Hawaii. Well, actually, first I called it Florida, and then we upgraded to Hawaii. And it was, the kids were watching TV or doing whatever, and I'd say, I'm just going to Hawaii. And they would know, and I was right there, but I would put on either a meditation or just music, and I would sit there quietly and just get in a space and breathe. Number two is breathe. So that anxiety, the first time I felt anxiety was December 2018. I didn't know any of those other feelings before, and I also didn't really fully understand depression until I know I hit a low in 2012 when I realized I was depressed. And then in 2018 I had anxiety, and I didn't know what that was, but that is this constriction right here, and just your mind just going out of control. So breathing is a huge component, and whether it is, if you have any, I'll have some tips on the website as well about taking it in and relaxing it down, but that is a huge component, and that's something you can control. Thirdly, now I'm all about, you need to just chill and enjoy and don't put too much pressure on yourself. But I used to have when I didn't have my children, I would eat like shit. I would work crazy ass hours. I didn't sleep well, and I drank. And I was really almost even abusing myself, and I didn't know I was. I really encourage you to be kind to yourself. So that kindness comes in what we put in our mouths, and really stop and say, is this good for me? Is this, I know it tastes yummy, but, and am I feeding myself enough? You can't work on less. Your mind doesn't work on less. We can't be we can't bring our best self if we're not nourishing ourselves. So those whole foods and real foods. Rest was huge, because I always talked about myself being on this treadmill of life. And it's a boom, 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 and a go, 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 and here, 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 here. And the faster you moved and the more that you accomplished in a day, the better off you were, and the stronger the person you were. You sit, you rest, you nap. That's weak. It's not. It is not. Because when your body goes through, whether it's a lifetime of healing, whether there has been trauma, you don't minimize what you have gone through. And it may go deeper than your separation. It may go deeper into your self-worth. Take that time and be kind to yourself. A deep rest is huge, huge. Allow yourself. I'm still working on that. I am still working on deep rest 2 years later. And lastly, if I might say, I was very sad that my marriage had ended. And my kids knew that. So I became this person that I'm like, I will get up because my children need me to get up, which was great. However, I missed a component in there. I went from sadness to, I gotta get up and I need to take care of them and I need to do this and I need to show them how to get up. But there was something in between there that I didn't realize until a later date. And I realized that I was grieving. And when I labeled myself going through grief, it was huge for me. It was like a lift. I was able to label it. I was able to understand it. And I was able to let go of what my loss was. And to understand that that was just, it was not just, but it was part of my life. Take what you want, leave what you want, and then move on. And grieving and allowing myself to grieve, allowing myself to just be sad. It's okay. That it was worth it. Hey, we didn't get married way back when with the plans to get divorced. You don't plan to do that. But when it happens, that process, it's a very interesting opportunity to take this as a lesson wrapped in sandpaper. It's harsh. It's also a time to be in the mud and choose how you want to stand back up and what you want that to look like. And if I can kind of go full circle, because those sweet children of yours just want you to be happy. And in order for them to actually release where they're at, their hurt, their sadness, their grief, maybe their trauma, you need to be open, you need to listen, and you just need to be present. You gotta let go of your junk so you can be there for them. And maybe, as I've said before, there are teachers. There are teachers. And as life does go on, and life can be as phenomenal as you want it to be, children are resilient. So are you. But through that process, there is grief and there's healing and there's rest and kindness and love that has to occur so we can step into our greater self, so we can transform, so we can be contagious, so we can mirror people, and so we can live our best life. Cheers.